All right, the Ant-Man versus Adam. Okay, hold on. All right, Ant-Man versus Adam. Should be a very equal type of fight.
Ant-Man, Marvel's founding member of the Avengers.
The Atom, DC's legendary Mighty Might.
Good things come in small packages.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
We're just trying to get these out of the way.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Did you know that ants can lift 50 times their own body weight? That'd be like if you
I didn't
lifted a
know that.
car straight over your head.
I did, thanks to my
Oh,
fun fact of
never
the
heard
day
that
calendar.
comparison, though.
Also, Hawaiian pizza was invented
That's cool.
in Canada yesterday.
Well, I bet your calendar didn't tell you that Dr. Henry Pym, aka Hank, was considered a genius at a very early age. By 3 years old, doctors declared that he was smarter than both his parents combined.
He eventually majored in biochemistry and became one of
Oh, I'm named Dr. Henry Hank Pym. I knew that. He's 6 foot, 135 pounds. Damn, that's real small. Biochemistry, no judo, karate, and wrestling. One of the top 5 smartest people alive. Interesting. One of the top 5 smartest people alive.
the most successful scientists in his field. He had big ideas about shrinking the size of cargo to reduce shipping costs. Ah, logistics.
All of which made him a laughingstock in the scientific community and sparked a long-lasting insecurity and need to prove himself.
But he did it. He developed a working serum. He went from laughingstock to Christmas stocking. The much better stuck, right behind Bean and Life.
So, naturally, he tested the serum on himself, like any self-respecting scientist would, and shrank down to the size of an ant.
And just when things started going south, a sweet little ant, let's call her Aunt Hathaway, swooped in and led Hank safely back to his lab where he could return to full size.
Hank then harnessed the serum and became the superhero, Ant-Man. Along
Alright,
with his new
bet.
identity came
We're
a
gonna fast forward a little
fascination in
bit.
entomology, which makes total sense. Ants are fascinating.
What's this?
However, in order to do that, he'd have to change the Bohr radius, the ratio of electron mass to
Alright.
the distance the electrons orbit an atom's nucleus.
I don't know nothing about
The
it.
Wasp, his partner in crime fighting.
Yeah,
The two ended up rubbing shoulders with A-listers like Thor, Iron Man,
Who's
and
that,
the
Hulk?
Unfortunately, Hank's insecurities started to creep back in, and he felt that if he wanted to keep up with the big heroes, he was going to have to think bigger.
Enter a bunch of those Pym-powered alter egos like Yellow Jacket and Giant Man, where he can grow anywhere from 12 feet tall to so big he can enter the
I didn't know he actually had a
overspace,
Yellow
the
Jacket
polar
suit.
opposite of the underspace.
There he met Eternity, who called him Earth's Scientist Supreme. Something he won't let you forget.
Hank pushed himself the physical
Alright.
toll of the Pym particles and had bipolar disorder that went undiagnosed for years.
So Hank finally did the best thing he could. He acknowledged his problems, got the help he needed, and committed to self-improvement.
And with that help, Hank slowly started making things right. He rebuilt the West Coast Avengers, gave Scott Lang his blessing to become the second Ant-Man, and finally defeated Ultron.
He created a backdoor Trojan infiltration code to defeat
Alright.
Your average human-sized person.
I can tell you
He
an
grew
ad
up
probably
in the
finna pop up.
Northeast
I ain't gonna
and
lie. I have a feeling. I know an ad finna pop up. But okay, we on to the next. We on to Adam. That's who we on to now. Dr. Raymond Palmer. Oh yeah, I did know that. See, he's 6 foot and 180 pounds. Fucking Ant-Man was 135 pounds, same height. It's crazy. Has a PhD in physics. He knows judo as well. Gymnastics, trained by the Justice League. Originated the myth of Aladdin's lamp. Interesting.
Studied physics at Ivy University and did everything Mama and Papa Palmer told him to do. Probably.
Everything was pretty typical for Ray until one fateful night when he took a walk to take his mind off a frustrating experiment and saw a meteor fall from the sky.
He ran off to the crash and found himself a life-changing piece of a white dwarf star, and immediately started messing around with it. Who wouldn't?
He discovered that he could focus ultraviolet rays through it and shrink inanimate objects. There was just one problem. When he shrunk things, they exploded. Every time.
I do not see the problem. Sounds like he found a foolproof way of blowing stuff up. Case closed.
Ray was determined to figure out how to shrink objects without blowing them up. But first, he went on a hike with his nature club. And as a fellow scientist, I have to question his priorities.
But hey, it seems to work for him. I support it. Different hikes for different mics, am I right?
While in a cave, the ceiling suddenly collapsed, trapping everyone inside. After searching high and low for another exit, Ray found a small opening and had an idea. He could try to shrink himself down and get help, even if it meant he might explode before he got the chance.
Oh, that's
But he
crazy.
didn't explode. I hope this story has a happy ending at least.
Perplexed, Ray determined there must have been something special about him that made him uniquely immune to the explosive fate.
Became the Atom!
Adam uses the
Shrinking can shrink himself and others to microscopic levels through touch. Or his equipment, mass alteration, controlling his body's mass, or rearrange atoms, mind manipulation, nuclear blast, phasing, flight, riding air or light paths via mass acceleration. Dang, he can shrink himself small enough to pass through objects. Phasing.
white dwarf
Kinda cool.
fragment to decrease his size while having control over his density, which makes a lot of sense considering that white dwarfs have the mass of a star, like the sun, but their volume is more like the Earth's, making them among the densest objects in space.
Just a teaspoon of the stuff could weigh up to 100 tons. That's one strong spoon.
When Adam shrinks and shifts his weight, he's actually sending his extra mass to a dimension called the mass zone.
Where, Adam could maybe live forever. At one point, Ray's apprentice Ryan Choi was murdered by Deathstroke, but willed some of his mass to the mass zone and was able to survive in that dimension. So these guys can potentially cheat death, but would be stuck there without any outside help.
But from one scientist to another, what's most impressive is Ray's creation of the Bio Belt. That's what allows Adam to use the power of the white dwarf and shrink while maintaining any
Or I don't know, crossbow, miniature blaster. Okay. I might be going with Adam here, to be honest with you. Because I know Ant-Man can shrink down and go into that whole whole other miniature dimension, whatever that he be going into. But I don't know. Adam, I've seen, I watched the Justice League cartoons and stuff. And he can go inside people's bodies, like just swim around in your blood cells and stuff and all that. Like, I know it ain't a miniature dimension, but that depends. I guess that depends on the universe, because Adam is in DC. So, but I don't know. I'm going with Adam, and these this arsenal sound far.
weight from immaterial to his full 180 pounds. There's even been times where it's stated that he was able to become almost as dense as a white dwarf star itself for a few seconds.
The belt is also how he can travel through phone lines or through the air on currents or light beams. Over time, Ray has spread out the white dwarf power to other parts of his suit, and now the bio belt acts as a utility belt for his shrunken weapons and tech. It also prevents his size or mass from being altered by any outside forces.
And while he can only increase his size back to his natural 6 feet in height, his ability to shrink is near limitless. He can travel between subatomic space to the microverse, the foundation of all reality in the DC universe, where atoms become the size of planets.
Typically, he can increase back to his normal size with such force he can smash through diamonds. So if Adam increases his size too much while still within the microverse, he could blow up the entire fabric of reality from the inside out.
Shrinking down to that size means that he can shrink small enough to rearrange atoms themselves.
Yep, Ray
Yeah,
can
I
take
knew that, I knew
individual
that.
molecules and rapidly expand them to cook up a small nuclear blast in the palm of his hand. Oh, Ray Palmer. I just got that.
He also once disarmed a bomb by rearranging its atoms. At that size, he can move at the velocity of light. Adam was a very well-respected hero,
I
and
watched
was
this
even
cartoon
asked
right
to
here.
join the Justice League of America shortly after it was formed.
He fought alongside Batman and his best bud, Hawkman.
I'm finna fast forward straight to the fight in a minute. I'm not gonna lie.
99.9% of you aren't subscribed. That is thousands of viewers not subscribed yet. So, if you find yourself coming back or enjoying the content, subscribe.
All right, the
let's get
combatants
to
are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Spot picture. All right, yeah, let's see.
You should pick on someone your own size, relatively speaking.
How did you do this? It's laced with a particle I've never seen before.
They're called Pym particles, and I'm Hank Pym, scientist supreme.
All right, that's Ant-Man right there.
Not.
I think I'm going at him here.
You're using pieces of a white dwarf star? That's cute.
Everything we needed already existed. You just needed to be smart enough to put the pieces together. Scientist Supreme!
Don't let me down, Adam.
Did you know that at any given moment, there are about 2.5 million ants under your
These niggas just fighting and spitting facts in the middle of fighting, bro. All right, Ant, don't get banned, gang.
feet?
I mean, that makes sense, but why are you bringing that up right now?
Took you long enough. Okay, let's try this. I'll hack his belt. You lay low and let me know what you find. Huh?
Nice try. If I search every electron path in his gun and study their probability wave functions, I just might be able to!
Yeah, the microburst, they done went extremely small.
What's happening? He must be reaching his limit. If we don't get out of here quick, he's gonna destroy all of reality. Now, my pets! You have your tricks and your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
How?
You can't be afraid to think big.
KO!
Ant-Man and Adam both had many answers to each other's abilities and arsenals. Both
Okay, I guess Adam lost.
were able to store
Thinking about it now, I guess I probably should have went with Ant-Man, because I think they said Ant-Man had a literal god, like compliment him or some shit. Ant-Man is smarter, he's stronger and more durable. Powers come from his body naturally. Or do they? Much larger arsenal. I didn't see that. Yeah, I could have sworn Adam had the larger arsenal, I guess. Can arguably shrink smaller. At worst, stalemates. Similar in speed. Adam can control the destiny of his size. Oh, density. He can control the density of his size, can affect probability of some of Hank's weapons. He can affect the probability of some of Hank's weapons. Oh, okay. Cannot grow larger than his natural height. bio belt is susceptible to hacking. Damn. Less examples of shrinking to sizes Hank has attained. Similar in speed. I guess I should have realized Ant-Man can grow large, like larger than a skyscraper. I don't know if that would have been less necessarily a benefit, because then Adam could shrink extremely small and just get inside his body and mess with his atoms and blow him up and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna count that that he can grow big as a plus.
Various weapons at a shrunken state. Both were trained in judo, and they both could obviously keep up with each other's ability to shrink at will.
Though there was one small thing Adam couldn't answer to: the ants! Hank's bond with his pets lent him some small advantages, and Ray just didn't have enough anti-ant tools in his bio belt.
But in Adam's defense, the fact that he could punch with a fist packed with all of his mass meant that a close-up fight while small would leave Hank with few options, since he can only punch with his normal human strength.
Even still, all Ant-Man would need to do is keep his dissed ants with the help of his insect confidants and devise another plan of ant-tack, something Hank has no shortage of.
For instance, Ant-Man could alter Adam's size thanks to the Pym particle field he generates. Hank would just need to stall long enough to remove or disable Adam's bio belt, and he's had no trouble hacking enemy tech in the past.
But even with the bio belt busted, it wouldn't stop Adam's ability to shrink, since the White Dwarf power is...
So from what I'm hearing and from what I've seen, that nigga Ant-Man cheated. He cheated. Pretty much. He uses ants. I'm just playing, but he ain't cheat, but damn near. He just used ants, because the ant was inside of he somehow got that ant inside of Adam, and that killed him. I don't even know how he got it inside of him. Oh wait, did it get in his belt right here? Let me see.
Get out of here quick. He's gonna destroy all of reality. Now, my pets! You have your tricks and your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
Yeah, like what just happened right there? Like, why did he grew, and I mean it kind of just went black? Why did that happen? What did he do to him? That was kind of confusing. I don't get it.
How?
You can't be afraid to think big.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
The winner is Ant-Man. Thanks for watching.
I guess I can't always be right. I guess Ant-Man won that one. I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess I really didn't think about it like that. I guess.